Can you believe that a stray dog could save a horse trapped in mud up to its chest? And not only save it, but leave an entire rescue team standing there in stunned silence, full of admiration. This story happened in a quiet forest, where no one ever expected that a small dog could accomplish something so incredible. In a small town in the northern United States, there lived a man named Henry, a quiet man in his 40s who lived alone on a modest farm. With him was a stray dog he had rescued months earlier, a golden retriever named Max. Max, with his bright golden fur and eyes full of life, had become Henry's constant companion. Despite once being a stray, Max followed Henry everywhere, helping him around the farm and keeping him company in the quiet hours of the day. On that particular morning, the sky was clear and blue, the sun casting golden rays across the path leading into the woods. Henry was planning to check the fences as usual. But suddenly, Max ran ahead, barking loudly, eyes wide and full of urgent worry. Henry stopped in his tracks, heart pounding, thinking, what could possibly have Max so terrified? And right then, he had no idea that Max was about to lead him to a scene that would leave an entire rescue team speechless in admiration. Stay with me until the end of this video to find out exactly what Max did and why everyone ended up bowing their heads in respect for this little dog. Could one small dog do something that even experienced rescuers would find impossible to believe? Max did exactly that, in a swamp of deep mud, with a horse fighting for its life. Asterisk, asterisk. Henry followed Max's barking, his boots sinking into the wet ground. Suddenly, he froze. In front of him was a large brown horse, struggling in a pool of thick black mud. The mud reached up to the horse's chest. Its eyes were wide with panic, its chest heaving as it tried desperately to free itself. Max stood right at the edge of the swamp, barking fiercely, looking back and forth between Henry and the trapped horse, as if to say, "Hurry up, save it!" Henry fumbled for his phone, dialing for the rescue team. Within minutes, 4 people in bright safety vests arrived, carrying ropes and equipment, hurrying toward the muddy clearing. But even as the rescue team gathered, discussing how dangerous the mud might be, and fearing it might swallow anyone who stepped in, Max suddenly leapt into the mud. Everyone shouted at once, "No, Max, stop!" But Max kept going. He waded through the thick mud, circling around to the back of the horse, and began digging furiously with his front paws, pulling away chunks of heavy mud from around the horse's legs. And in that moment, Henry realized Max was creating small channels in the mud to loosen it, so the suction around the horse's legs would weaken. The entire rescue team stood silent, stunned. None of them had ever seen a dog instinctively channel the mud to save a large animal like that. Thanks to the channels Max created, the mud began to soften and loosen around the horse. The rescue team quickly looped ropes around the horse's chest and belly, working together with Henry to pull inch by inch. After nearly an hour of hard work, the horse finally emerged onto solid ground, trembling, eyes shining with tears of relief. Henry fell to his knees, wrapping his arms around Max, unable to speak through the lump in his throat. One of the rescue workers, voice trembling, whispered, "This dog is the real hero of today." Max stood there, panting heavily, his fur soaked in mud, but his tail wagging gently, his eyes glowing with pride under the warm sunlight. From that day on, Max was no longer just a stray dog. He became a living legend in the small town. And Henry knew that sometimes the intelligence and loyalty of a dog can save not only a single life, but also restore a human's faith in small everyday miracles. Max made the rescue team bow their heads, but there's another dog who made people weep on a railway track. Don't miss the next video right beside this one to discover why the whole world was moved by that little dog.